Good day, afternoon, or night, whenever you're hearing and seeing this. My name is Jhojan Alexis Salgado Lopez, and I'm here to make my task for English 2, task 6, task 6 is well worth a look. This task was originally supposed to be a group collaborative task, but because of my classmates not answering my calls and the lack of time to continue trying to reel them in, I am making it in on my own. Mm. And as such, it has now become a sort of a presentation about top holidays destination spots in Colombia. Well, let's start. The first spot I chose, or well, location spot that I chose is Barranquilla. Barranquilla, which is known for its beaches and its welcoming ambient, is a city that you will not regret visiting. And why is that? Well, first of all, because of its magnificent beaches, Barranquilla is a well-known tourist destination across the world. The pristine beaches, the nice sea, etc., etc., and so on, make it a well-known location. Given that it is such a big tourist destination, Barranquilla safety is overall, compared to the rest of Colombia, better, which is true. Since Barranquilla is such a main spot for tourism, uh, it has a better safety in comparison to the rest of Colombia, in which violence and such is a little more common. The activities and locations are easy to reach and more fun because Barranquilla has invested into them, which is true. Since Barranquilla is such a tourist spot, as I just said, it has invested a lot into being that into make into making its attractions, its locations, its activities better overall. These following points are based on the questions that were given to us as a guide in the learning guide. An insect, sorry. First of all is if this location was chosen as a landmark for its historical value, what will it be? Well, the historical value of the city, it's it's located, this place, it's notable between the ruins, the history, and the contributions to the country technological advances, as Barranquilla has been the spot where many technological advances, inventions, and such have been discovered, have been created in Colombia. If this location was included in a tourist book, in a tourist pack, will you book it? For that, my answer is I and anyone will book this destination if it was included in a travel package. This because of the many activities that can be done there, which is true. There are carnivals, there are parties, there are bars, there's anything and everything you could do in Barranquilla. And the third is if the UNESCO chose the location as a spot or as a landmark of World Heritage, how will you feel? And for that, my answer is I will be deeply happy if Barranquilla was chosen as World Heritage by the UNESCO. As Colombia deserves recognition besides the crimes committed by awful people in our past, which is true. Sadly, Colombia is still known worldwide because of the many crimes and many criminals and such that have been born and have learned their crimes from here. My second tourist attraction, tourist landmark, tourist spot in Colombia that I chose as one of the top is El Peñol. Regarded as one of the major landmarks in Colombia, El Peñol is an experience and a challenge each person that visits Colombia should experience at least once. Located in Antioquia, El Peñol is easy to reach, which is with its challenge laying on the 700 plus steps that a person has to climb in order to get to the top. But the impressive sight from the top of it makes it all worth. In easy terms, El Peñol is a rare location to visit and a small challenge with a neat reward on the top, which in my opinion is what makes it so unique in comparison to other tourist attractions and holiday destinations in Colombia. As because of this small challenge that is climbing to the top, it feels quite more rewarding when you finally get to say top. Here we repeat the questions that we had with the previous holiday destination. If it was chosen as a historical landmark, what will make it stand out? I'm going to shorten the questions in for sake of time and flow. The colonial style of the houses and general buildings around El Peñol will be what makes it stand out as a historical landmark, as a display of the styles of and history of the long-gone colonial age, which, if you have seen pictures of of El Peñol and the buildings around it, it's quite easy to notice. They still have that colonial style, the clay tiles, the white painting, and so on. Uh, if it was included in a travel package, would you book it? Absolutely. El Peñol is a location that anyone will visit without second guessing. The location, the sights, and the ambience will make anyone wish to visit it. Which, I mean, I don't have anything else to add in this point. It's what it is. The sights and such from the top of El Peñol are what makes it so appealing. And if it was chosen as World Heritage by the UNESCO, how will you feel? I will be extremely happy. While it is already a widely recognized landmark and tourist attraction, the honor of being a World Heritage is too much greater than the two mentioned things than the two previously mentioned things. And I feel like it will fit quite well. While while not as interesting in, let's say, activities, in parties, in similar things, El Peñol will be quite unique as a World Heritage. It is quite different from many other things such as museums and such, and has a overall new style to bring into the list of the World Heritage. Now, since this was originally supposed to be a debate, I will be spending on which, if the debate were to happen, which will be my option to debate as the top holiday location, top holiday spot in Colombia, which, as you may see, and as you may see in the slide, is El Peñol once again. Um, I'm going to proceed to read my points. In regards of the original task the original task objective being a debate between various parties, I'll now expand on my reasons why I believe El Peñol is the top location to visit during the holidays. It's a family-friendly location, while Barranquilla and others may focus mostly on adult visitors. This one can be visited and enjoyed by all ages. 2. While a demanding task, getting to the top of El Peñol is a rewarding experience because of the sights and feeling of accomplishment. 3. It's a great historical landmark not only because of its overall uniqueness, but because of the style of the buildings surrounding it and the culture that is preserved in the zone. 4. It's also a quite safe location to visit, but because of the safety of the place, but also because there is no danger of damaging or disrupting a delicate balance, like in other landmarks in Colombia, such as Caño Cristales. And I'll proceed to expanding this last point. That's why I feel like people should be more inclined to visit El Peñol in regards of what in its in contrary to other spots. El Peñol is a safe location. The location in itself is quite safe. There is not as many violent events happening around, and the zone is overall quite tranquil in comparison to other places in Colombia. Well, also El Peñol is not in danger of being disrupted, being damaged for constant visitors. While it is true that there may be, let's say, some trash and such, it is not as delicate of the ecosystem like Caño Cristales, which usually has to go through close downs and such because of the trash and the visitors disrupting the natural balance inside the waters that makes Caño Cristales so unique. Now we'll move to a small little quiz that I had prepared in case we could move to we could have in case we had done the debate. First, why is Barranquilla regarded as a historical landmark? Its ruins. Next one, why are there activities why are the activities in Barranquilla more fun? Because they invested on them as I said before. 3. Why is El Peñol a holiday destination for all the family? As you may seen in the previous slides, is because the activities are focused to all ages and not just adults, which is a problem that sounds like Barranquilla have. And for our last question, why is El Peñol safer to visit than other Colombian holiday spots? Because there is no risk of disrupting any kind of natural balance, such as the one in Caño Cristales, which has to be closed every so often to take care of the damage done by the people as they visit it. And well, this was a short one because once again this was supposed to be a debate, but because of my course mates and such not answering my calls, I had to do it all by myself. That's a wrap, and thank you for your attention. My name is Jhojan Alexis Salgado Lopez, and this is my submission to the tax seats of English 2. It's well worth a look.